right, so she's like, you stay in Yali? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I can come through. I was like, where you from? Tangi. I'm like, I wasn't familiar with the area yet. I knew about Bamburi, so she was like, it's after Bamburi. So I was like, all right, I'll pay for transfer. Come over. Let's hang out. Have a Netflix night or something. So back home in the US, that usually means cool, let's chill. But here on the coast, that same sentence sometimes comes with unspoken terms and conditions. But me, I was still naive. So I'm thinking, yo, she just wants to hang out. Maybe Netflix, chill, talk, have a good night. So before she comes, I clean up the spot a little, so, fix the pillows, light a candle, act like I don't live like a hurricane hit yesterday. She shows up and I'm like thinking to myself, yo, the face matches, but the body don't match. So I was like, I'm really not into her, but she came already, so let's just hang out. I don't want to be like rude or making her feel bad. So I was like, me trying to be a nice guy, I was just like, let me just hang out with this girl, whatever. The way she was dressed was like showing a lot of flesh, so I was like, you didn't have to dress like that just to come over. So we talked, watched some TV, some Netflix. She was flirting, asking questions about my content, my travels, the usual first night chemistry stuff, And I'm like, this might actually be one of those rare normal dating app stories. So we're both tired and she stays over. Me, I was just being nice again because it was late. I was like, whatever. So one thing led to another and we did adult things, quote unquote. So next morning, sun hits the curtains. Birds are doing that loud Mombasa thing. And she's quiet, like too quiet. So I'm making my coffee, trying to keep it light. She wakes up and she's like, so, you need help with the house? I was like, nah. So she still kept on going and mopping the floor and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, you don't have to do that. I gotta go real quick. Gotta go meet with a friend of mine at the local mall. Because I was seeing that she didn't want to leave. I didn't have to meet up with anybody. I just wanted to get out of the house because if I'm going to the mall when she was gone, then I come back. But what ended up happening was, as I'm walking to the mall, she keeps on walking towards, and then she's like, you need to give me something." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like 5,000. Mind you, I wasn't even attracted to the girl, so I was like, 5,000, not even 500, because in my mind, back home, I wouldn't look. I would never touch this girl. Honestly, she just wasn't my type. I mean, she wasn't unattractive, but she just wasn't for me. So for me to pay for something that I was like, it was a gesture of kindness, to be honest with you, for her to sleep over, I was like, no, that's definitely not happening. So she's like, you're not going anywhere until you pay me. I was like, I'm not paying you jack. And then she's like, all right, 2,000. I was like, no. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? This girl is starting to raise her voice, whatever. So I just took off. I started running down the street and she's chasing after me. And she's talking in Swahili to the people on the side of the street, the guards, that I hadn't paid her. Luckily for me, I had on my messages that I don't do hookups. That's what saved me at the end of the day. So she finally catches up to me because I was like, you know what, let me just confront the situation because I got proof on my phone anyway. And then she starts grabbing me and then she grabs my chain. I pulled and the chain broke and I was like, I just left. If you go back to my 2022 videos, you'll see me with the gold looking chain. That wasn't real gold. In her mind, she probably thought it was. So I was like, whatever. I'll let her keep that fake gold Amazon chain that I got. I ain't trying to deal with her anymore. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, I was like, I thought she was joking. I even laughed. I'm thinking, you mean 5,000 for an Uber? Or 500 for an Uber? She's like, no, 5,000 shillings. I was like, nah. So that's when I realized this wasn't just a sleepover. That night was a transaction. But I clearly stated that I didn't want anything like that. And she kind of invited herself over. And I said, yeah, why not? I had nothing to do at the time. Now, she never said anything about money before, right? There was no hint, no negotiation, just vibes. But next morning, boom, suddenly I'm in a situation that's part date, part invoice. You know what I mean? Oh man, I feel like telling yo, send the invoice to my secretary, The funny thing is that she was so nonchalant about it. I was like,